driving services as we have them within the bylaw right now are very new to the industry, to insurance companies as well, not just to the city. Like everyone's familiar with Keys Please services like that that operate as a not-for-profit sort of thing that can be scheduled to assist with company parties and that sort of thing. But operating in the way of not quite a taxi service, not quite a rideshare like Uber or Lyft would be, but transporting people home in their own vehicles. Insurance companies are very leery of that sort of liability. That's one of the issues that they've run into with obtaining the appropriate type of insurance. Initially, they weren't sure what type of insurance that they would need. So the bylaw piggybacks off of the existing legislation for taxis and rideshares, which is not that it means anything to you guys, but Class 155. It's a livery plate, ride for hire service is the type of registration that they would need. And then the type of insurance that they would need is third-party liability up to a minimum of $1 million as per legislation. They don't need the passenger hazard insurance, which would make them like a full-fledged taxi. So it was getting the insurance companies understanding that they're not a taxi, they're not a rideshare, but they're a vehicle for hire service. That's where a lot of the confusion came from. As far as the price goes, that's really within the realm of the insurance companies, what they deem as liability, what they will insure, what they won't insure. And that's a lot of the issue that many of these DD services have run into, is the insurance companies refuse to take on that liability.
Yeah, okay, so just as a question, so do we require that of the trailer car as far as insurance under our bylaws, that is fully commercially insured, even though there wouldn't be a passenger going in it that required a ride? Because my thoughts on it were, if somebody is driving the car, then they should have that commercial license, and then the trailer car would be no different than me like driving my friends home from the bar, being the DD myself, and I don't require any special like insurance to do that either. So,
Director Manuel, did you want to step in at this point?
Just to that point, just for clarification, we have received a fair bit of feedback. I know council's received feedback as well from industry. So we have clarifying questions at the Insurance Bureau of Canada right now. And once we receive that direction, we'll return and make any appropriate adjustments. In regard to licensing, though, we do have exemptions where the support vehicle does not require a professional driver's license, which would be a class 4 operator or higher license. They can be a class 5 operator as the support vehicle. However, the person operating the vehicle for hire has to have the class 4 license.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Director Manuel.
Was there anything else that you wanted to ask or answer to that, Sean?
Oh, no.
Okay. Mr. Bressie, you got any questions?
No, I don't, Chair O'Toole, but I'm happy to make the motion to receive if you would like.
We got Mayor Clayton's here first.
Just to clarify, Director Manuel, so that we're all on the same page, because there has been numerous conversations in the community about this. The follow vehicle, what did you call it? Trailer car doesn't require a special classification for their driver's license.
For the driver's license, they do not, correct, Sean? However, there is insurance requirements right now that are being met, though.
Okay, so the concerns people are having, and you and I have had this brief conversation, insurance companies are struggling to find where they fit within insurance world language. But there's work being done on that because, and we expect that these services will be able to find opportunities for insurance shortly. At a high level, those of you who haven't got emails, this is a service that's well utilized in our community. The goal being to keep drinking drivers off the road. And this is something in a community that doesn't have a full gamut of rideshare options. This is something that's been well utilized over time, and the community relies on it quite a bit. So any information that you can share right now, Director Manuel, I think was good for council to know.
No, so to that point, absolutely. The bylaw was built with feedback from the insurance industry at the time. However, as was experienced, some questions have arisen. So we want to certainly be nimble and responsive to that. So we've made those additional inquiries. I think what you're seeing here is the reason why things have shifted and the business model has seen so many startups in this area is because the well-developed taxi and rideshare industries have substantial costs associated to them. And this was historically somewhat of a legislated loophole, which is now closing up, which obviously has some cost implications.
Any other questions regarding any of the statements made so far? Okay, then I'll move on. Councillor Bressy, you go ahead.
Sure, yeah, happy to move we accept for information, and thanks for the report. Thanks for giving clarity on this. It definitely is something that we do get phone calls and emails about, so it's great to have something in writing to have a better idea of what's going on.
Okay, I'll call for the vote. And that carries. Thank you very much for being here, Mr. Hibbert.
Councillor O'Toole, can I just,
Yep.
Director Mano, just a comment on that. I think that it's more than just a loophole to avoid taxi licenses. I think that in the past, our community has had a reputation with some of our taxi services that they were unsafe. And so that void was filled through another sort of stream of business, and that this business has served our community well in the sense that if you're a person who has a glass of wine after work and you need to work the next day and you want your vehicle home, this has been an option for you. So it's not just because of the costs of taxi services.
Through the chair, completely agree. I apologize if it came across that way. It is a unique product in that it allows the return of your vehicle, which other products do not permit. Right. So that absolutely is true. My reference was more specifically on the insurance specific issue and on a national basis, not just locally.
And I haven't used it that much, but I do know that it does work, and there's a lot of people that have accounts set up with these people just because they're not trying to make any, they just don't want to be at fault for anything that could cause them harm. So with that, thank you so much. There's no correspondence, no other business. We're not doing any bylaw or policy reviews. We have an outstanding items list. If we want to update that.
Okay. So in regard to the outstanding items list, I believe we can remove this item today. So item 1175 should be able to be removed, and the other two items remain on track.
Okay. Looking for a motion to accept the outstanding items list.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll call for the vote. And that carries. Thank you very much for being in attendance to the Protective and Social Services Committee meeting held today. Take care.